Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Beaconhouse, Old Student Society, Boss Memory Lane. Beaconhouse Boss is all about building a community together. Today we have Ms. Natasha Asif with us. She graduated from Qasimabad in 1991. They're the first ever batch who graduated from Qasimabad Campus. Currently, she is working with Beaconhouse Newlands, teaching the IB program. Ms. Natasha Asif has a very phenomenal education journey. She completed her computer engineering from George Mason University, and then she had another master's from Brussels and a UN consultant along with the Institution of Atomic Energy Association. What a phenomenal journey it is. Let's get to know more about her in our Boss Memory Lane. Ms. Natasha, welcome to Boss Memory Lane.
I'm glad that you have invited me and honored me. Thanks a lot for that.
Let's take the trip down the memory lane. Tell us about an interesting incident at Beaconhouse, Qasimabad.
So I started there as we were the first batch. So I was in grade 5. And taking it back to the memory lane, my each and every day was memorable because this school changed my and my friends' whole life. We got succeeded in our career. We never had any issues, because our base were made so strong by our teachers, and thanks to Mrs. Kasuri for having this school for us in Hyderabad. It was one of the first English medium school that we had, and we're really glad that she, made this for us there. Yeah, so I would say my each and every day was a memorable one because each and every day we were learning, our teachers were teaching us with a lot of knowledge, with a lot of ethics. Our sports teacher, she was very enthusiastic, and we were having fun in sports, and every day was a good one actually.
All right, okay. If you have to describe your school life in 3 words, what would that be?
Well, I would say it was fun, knowledge, and lot of lifelong learning.
Oh, wow. You talk about lifelong learning. Did you make friends for life at Qasimabad, Hyderabad campus?
Yes, we were like 15 students there, and we still are friends. We are all scattered all over the world, and mashallah, each one of them is doing very well. Some are doctors, some are bankers, some are in government services, and each one of us is a successful one.
An accomplished batch.
Yes.
The first ever batch of 1991.
Yeah, I guess it was not because it was my batch, but I guess it was one of the best batches of Qasimabad, yeah.
So, किस तरह के group में आप थी? पढ़ाकू में थी, nerds थे?
Okay, initially, honestly, I wasn't a nerd. I was a very quiet child. But then, let's say from grade 9th, I became a nerd one and a very talkative one. And before that, I was an average student, and because I wasn't studying much, but our teachers were making full efforts to teach all of us, including me, of course. But yes, from grade 9, I was a nerd, and till now I'm a nerd, yes.
Yes, perfectionist, yes. Of course.
Yeah, at the same time, I used to love fun as well.
True. सही. Right. अच्छा, extracurricular activities का कुछ बताइए. Qasimabad campus में क्या था? भाई, part of debate, sports, what else?
So we were more into sports. The school had just started establishing, but they were doing everything, the debates and sports and everything. I was debates. I was not too much into it, but yes, sports. I used to love it, and I was a co-captain as well. So I was in the yellow house at that time. We had like colors like blue, yellow, green, red at that time, and I was for the yellow house co-captain, yes, and I used to enjoy sports, yeah.
आपके teachers के नाम याद है?
Yeah, I remember our sports teacher, Miss Sabia. She was excellent, and I think she still works for Beaconhouse. And then we had Mrs. Rafat Ali Nawaz. She was our English teacher, because of whom I've learned English actually. And then we had I think I'm forgetting names of those teachers, but our science teacher. We had very good biology teachers, chemistry, maths, all these teachers. And Urdu teacher was very good also. And they were all amazing. Actually, they were the best ones in Hyderabad, all from the very good backgrounds. So they were not just teaching us with the knowledge, but also with a lot of access.
As they say, your teachers are your spiritual parents also. Anything which was being said to you by your teachers and it stayed with you and you still remember it and you actually implemented it.
Yeah, they were always like telling us, speak the truth, guidance like these kind of things. They still stay in the memory, and it stays there. Yeah, and I remember one of the teachers, her father passed away, and we did not condolence her. She even taught us that when somebody dies, so that still stays in my memory. The other thing they always used to say, when the teachers pass, you have to say salam. And these kind of little
teachers सिर्फ तालीम नहीं देते, तरबियत भी साथ.
These kind of things, they stay in the memory. Yeah.
अच्छा, आप बहुत ज़्यादा social work भी करती हैं. Would you like to shed some light on it? Let's hear that.
Other than being, with this IT and the Educationist, I've married a foreign office guy. So we do the social work also. We have to do the social diplomacy as well. So wherever we go, whenever we are outside the country, we have these international clubs where we are supposed to not just socialize, but we are supposed to be doing charity works also.
Adding value to the community.
Exactly. So we represent our country there, and then we do collect the charity and, give the organizations that. Other than that, I have worked for the United Nations Women Guild in Vienna. I was working there as the bazaar secretary. And again, I was handling their IT things and the communications. And I was representing at the same time my country, Pakistan, as well. Regarding what we do in Pakistan, we have our own NGO, the PAFA, Pakistan Foreign Office Women Association, and I'm an education secretary there. And I work for their, websites and stuff like that. I've been working and setting up the design of the websites as well. So we don't just do the social aspects of the diplomacy, but of course we do the charity, we distribute the charity, and
it's all about adding value to the community.
And we give charity to the master's students, to the bachelor graduates. Also we facilitate.
And it's the only ministry in Pakistan which has its own.
Exactly, yes, you are right, exactly. So
you've had siblings also studying at that time in Qasimabad.
Yeah.
How was that experience like?
That was a lovely experience. I had one of my sisters 2 years younger to me. So we really enjoyed a lot together, going together, coming back together. And since I told you we were the first batch, among the first ones, so we were more like a family. Especially the first 4 batches, we were more like a family. We used to enjoy
comparison
together.
Hota tha aapas mein?
As a sisters, no, they wouldn't do that. They were like, who I am, and who she is. Actually, my mother was also teaching there. Yeah. So my mother was teaching the primary section. We both sisters were going, and then I had my younger sister who is 9 years younger to me. She also graduated from the same school. Yeah.
So we have whole BSS family with us today.
Yeah, exactly. My mother worked. She was a fashion designer. She learned from UK, but actually the school was established by Mrs. Kasuri, but Durdana Butt had come there to start. So she asked my mother if she could join, and that's how the journey of my mother started in the school.
Natasha, you are an educationist and was used to teach at university level, and there's a transition now to school and teaching at IB, Beaconhouse, Newlands in Islamabad. How's this experience and this transition?
Actually, Fatma, this is a wonderful experience. I've been teaching all over my life since I've graduated from the university. I've been just teaching to the bachelor's and master's level of engineering students. But recently, since 2 years, I have switched to school teaching. So I was teaching IGCSE students 2 years back, and now the IB students. I love the experience, and what made me actually switch to IB is there's a bridging between the university and the school. So, coming from the top university and going down towards the school, I can see what the gaps in the students are and what they need to be filled up. So, university teaching to the school teaching now is helping me actually fill in those gaps in the students.
Ms. Natasha, thank you so much. But we're moving towards the end of our memory lane. Pearls of wisdom for the young minds of Beaconhouse.
I would say if you really want to do something and that you know that what you are doing, you are knowledgeable about it, I would suggest, and you want to do something, please go ahead and do it. Don't think much about it. Please start with it, because this is what I like. Doing is a lot better than just thinking about it and going round and round.
Right. With this, ladies and gentlemen, we end our memory lane. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Beaconhouse Old Student Society, BOSS, building a community together.